Hello everyone, I'm Dragon Chill and welcome to Factorio. I'm very excited to be playing this. I've put about 100 hours into this so far in two separate maps, and I just felt like this was a game to share. I'm playing on version 0.14.21. So let's get started, shall we? Let's go ahead and build ourselves an iron axe. And let's go over to a stone deposit or actually, let's go to a coal deposit real quick and get some coal. And then we'll go to a stone deposit near some iron and start ripping out and smelting the iron. And I figured in this series we'll try to concentrate on making settlements and using long-distance trains, just because I haven't done that before. I set the map to generate very low frequency of copper, iron, stone, coal, and oil, but each of those deposits are going to be very big and very rich. So hopefully we don't have to move the mining very often. That's the hope, anyway. But we'll go ahead and slap down our burner drill here, along with our smelter or our furnace, our stone furnace. And then while that's doing its business, we'll come down here and just collect a load of stone, honestly, because we really need it. In fact, we'll collect enough to create 4 stone furnaces, which are needed for the burner mining drills. So, which means we need about 20 stone, which we'll do in the dark with a flashlight. So the beginning of Factorio can be pretty slow, but it's fun to get a feel for the world and all that fun stuff. So, let's go ahead and get the alt tab burning to make sure we can see where our resources are. Come on, we need more than that. There we go, 2 will do it for now. That way we'll head over to the coal deposit to our left. Slap these puppies down. And then get it mining away on the coal for us automatically. Alright, you'll go there. Come on, out of the way. You'll go there, spin you around, you'll go there. Let's grab a piece of coal here. Oh, come on, there we go. Toss you in there. That way you can start fueling your buddy up. Fueling your buddy up, not feeling your buddy up. That's another that's another thing. Yeah, so one of the things is a nice little research tree here, and one of the first things we'll research is automation, so we can start getting assembling machines, so we're not crafting everything out of our pockets, which can get really annoying, honestly. And then we'll probably go into logistics, so we can get some underground belts and splitters, so we can start making better use of transport belts. Then we'll go into optics, just so we can get lamps, because it can get bloody dark around here. Alright, give me more iron plates. And let's see. I think I need a little bit. Yep, I need 1 more bit of iron to create 2 more burners, or burning mining drills. So we'll come up here and we'll put the coal, the mine's drilling for coal. For some odd reason, I can't speak. In this sort of configuration, so we got 4 of them all just feeding each other and supplying us with delicious coal. There we go, perfect. So let's go ahead and rip out the coal that we have. Make sure we can keep our iron furnace going over here, or iron drill and furnace going. And yep, there we go. The drill just ran out of fuel. So pop you in, because we'll need a constant supply of iron. This game's all about the iron, to me. Alright, we'll also dig up enough stone to put a burner drill over here, as well as creating a second burner drill for iron along with a furnace. And at 15 we are good. So go ahead and make all of those. Let's see, yeah, we got enough for one there. So we'll go ahead and pop you down, and right there. You won't be doing much for us just yet. Let's see, I need one little bit more iron. Nope, actually I'm good there. Yeah, let's go grab some coal. But eventually we'll be able to sit there and get research that makes us run faster, and you know, we'll have better, just better everything. It turns into a very complicated and amazing game, and undoubtedly there's going to be some spaghettification going on with our factory as our transport belts go everywhere, but we'll eventually, you know, smooth all of that out. Actually, give me 25 coal back. Gonna go chop down a tree. And we're gonna make a wooden chest here real quick. Not the greatest thing in the world, but something just to keep the stone stored for now. And let's go ahead and grab what iron we can, because we want to set up a couple more of these guys so we have a nice supply of iron. And we also want to tap in the copper vein that's up here. I'm not going to tap into these two down here because I actually want to use those for our initial smelting areas. And we have a nice little copper vein down here, and we'll also put in power generation here as well. So just all in due time. Alright, got 55 plates. That should be enough to sit there and get started with 21 stone. Perfect. I want 2 of those and 2 of those. Put you there, and we'll put you there, and you there, and you there. So it's a very slow build out. We don't have much automation going on. Well, we don't have any automation going on right now, save for the drills. But at least we're not banging at the ore anymore to get it ourselves. Alright. Split that stack of, the 2 stacks of 50 among the 2 new here, so they get 25 each. Pop you in there. You in there. And right there. Alright, perfect. Grab some more iron plates. Go see how much stone's been harvested for us. Oh, 30, very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and run up here. And we're gonna, actually, let's go grab some more coal while we're at it. And we'll put a little bit of, a couple burner miners right on the tip of the copper up there. I really like that configuration for coal mining. Allows you to get a decent amount of coal out. Oh, that's another reason to not use this in the beginning, because it's covered partly with trees. Trees are the bane of my existence in this game. I'm betting they're the bane of the existence of most people that play Factorio. Because they're just a pain in the butt to get around. Ah, heck with it. Take it. Alright, we got copper going there. And what we're going to want to do is get a little bit of power going with a boiler, a steam engine, and an offshore pump. Which we need the copper for the offshore pump. Go ahead and snap up some iron here. Let's see what type of stone deposits we have. 40, good enough. Okay. And I am tempted to build out the decent amount, or the proper amount of boilers to steam engines, so we can go ahead and have a nice column of steam power going our way. Let's go snap some copper real quick. So this is vanilla Factorio. There aren't any mods installed, which you might have guessed from how dark it got at night. But I figure for this playthrough we won't do any mods. We'll just do it vanilla and see how it goes. Okay, let's go. No, ran out of juice down here, huh? So go ahead and pop that in. Snap as much iron as we can. So we need some more stone for our boilers. So if I remember right, the proper ratio is 14 boilers to 10 steam engines. So let's go ahead and get 14 boilers on the go. We already have our offshore pump. Snap up some more iron here. Always need iron. It's the lifeblood. Okay, so we got our 14 boilers, so let's go ahead and queue up 10 steam engines. And also I want to queue up one underground pipe pair. So that will allow us a little bit of a easier time once we set up our little steam engine power. Go ahead and snap some of that, and let's chop down some trees as well, because we're gonna need the wood. And what we're gonna need the wood for is our power poles. And let's go ahead and make 15 sets, so we'll have 30 power poles, because these power poles do not have much of a reach at all. They're kind of pathetic that way. But we can get better power poles. We will get better power poles. Okay, where do we want to set up power branching off of here? It's not like we can't move it later on, but I'd rather not if we can avoid it. Well, there's a nice coal vein right here. So how about we start it here? So let's get our offshore pump. We can find a place that it's happy with. Nope, not there. How right there. Okay, perfect. Get our underground pipe. We'll make sure to leave one space there. In fact, we might make it even a little bit further out. Because... put it right about here. That way if an offshore pump goes here, we'll still have plenty of space. We want this space for both walking space and for delivering a transport belt with coal coming down the middle. So slap down our 14 boilers. Get out our steam engines here. There we go. And let's get our power poles going, which we'll put, I guess, on this side. All right, and then put these guys right here, like so. All right, so we've got potential power generation there. And in order to feed that, we'll need a couple of electric mining drills, just so we don't have to keep feeding coal into the burning mining drills. We're also going to need to get our research set up as well. So let's go ahead and queue up a research lab. And let's go ahead and pop down a couple of these drills, get rid of that piece of wood. Let's see, we'll put you there and you there. Leave a space there so we can basically put items on transport belts and get it out of the mining area. And let's go ahead and swing power over here like so and like so. And then we can put our science lab down right about, this is just temporary. We'll slap it right about there. And you'll start researching automation. For that, we need 10 science packs. And to do that, we need a heck of a lot more wood, iron. Really. I was thinking about all the wood covering some of these deposits, which are going to be a pain in the rear, honestly. Well, pain in the rear now. We'll research stuff to eliminate those pesky trees. Alright, let's go up here and snap some coal, and I'm sure a lot of our well, these are full up, and we'll go feed our drills and furnaces up here. Okay, give me what you got, and I'll give you what I can. So we'll basically create 10 science packs and just basically slap them in there on our own. Let's see, that, and there. Very good. And queue up 10 of those puppies. That way we can get access to the assembling machines, which will allow us to stop crafting everything in our pockets. So we'll run over to power. And another thing we should probably start looking at is crafting some inserters. And then we'll craft the rest of our iron as transport belts. Not the most efficient, unfortunately, but we don't have assembly machines right now, and I'm not going for the lazy bastard achievement. Which one of these days I should. Just the achievements where you only build at most 111 items out of your pocket. Alright, so we got the 10 science packs now, so let's go ahead and pop them in there. They won't run without power just yet. And we'll want to kickstart our boilers here in just a moment. To do that, we'll grab some coal here while everything gets finished crafting in our pocket. And I guess it'll be enough since we just broke our axe. Alright, so now that we have our inserters, we'll go ahead and line them up here. And now we're just waiting on our transport belts. So we can take the transport belts, feed them down this way so we can actually have reliable coal going to our boilers. Because once these go out, you're SOL unless you've found another way to generate power. So we are getting there though, and we'll have a ton of transport belts on us. There we go. So very nice. So basically this will be like our starting settlement we do all our research here, all of our basic stuff here, and then we'll start branching out, doing specialized. This is where you mine iron and you smelt it here, and then the plates get distributed all across the map. Not even thinking about having to deal with all the biters around. Biters and spitters. Basically the locals that don't like you messing with their environment. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this started. Let's see. Come on. Like so. And come down one more. And something like that. And then we'll get this kick started by tossing in a couple of things of coal, and here we go. The mining has started along with our research. So we are out of the Dark Ages and we have power now. We have begun. So while that's doing its thing, we'll go check on our other resources over here, our other pockets of primitive mining. And we'll start planning a better solution so we don't have to do all this running around, honestly. Alright, you guys should be okay on power right now, or on coal. Let's see, we'll come down here. And we'll fill these guys up as much as we can. And should probably go check on our... Yep, you're out of fuel over here. Our stone miner. Okay. So it looks like our automation research is about to pop off. We'll have access to better means of crafting. And there we go. We now have access to assembling machine 1 and a long-handed inserter. We'll go after logistics next. And that way we can get better ways to use our belts and a faster inserter, which we won't use immediately. So we'll go ahead and say we'll get started on that. And then we'll get an assembly machine set up over here in the electrical grid. Let's go ahead and make 2 of those, and we'll also make a couple more inserters. And look at that, we're starting to back up on coal a little bit. If I could show that a little bit better. So looks like these guys have as much coal as they desire right now. All right, so we have a couple of assembly machines. So we'll go ahead and set them down here and here. Give them some power. And we'll need a little bit of power stretched over here. And it's already starting to be a little bit worrying with how much spaghetti is going to happen. And we're going to tell this guy to make iron gear wheels. And we're going to tell this guy to make science pack 1s, which is what we need for our next bit of research. And since we don't have any copper plates being delivered over here right now, we'll just go ahead and put copper in there, and we'll put iron in this machine. And this will make our science packs for us that'll allow us to get logistics researched, and we don't have to craft those guys in our pocket anymore. Now we'll have a bigger issue when we need to actually start setting up the smelting area for iron and copper and all that fun stuff, but I'll pull up the map here real quick, and it looks like we'll set up the smelting area here because we have a nice little vein of copper and iron and access to coal, and we'll just basically get all the smelting done here and then start basically dragging it over to the left, and then we'll move some of these machines down here and start building out a proper bus, I guess. Oh, I'm not sure how proper my bus is, but it'll be a bus of sorts. But anyway, that's where we're going to end the very first episode of this Factorio series. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.